Before we talk about computers, let's talk about something we all understand and enjoy, and that is restaurants. In a restaurant, we have customers at tables, we have a waiter that's bringing food back and forth and drinks, and we have the kitchen where food is being made. And it turns out this analogy is very close to the way computers operate. So with computers, the kitchen is like the hardware. That's like a keyboard, a screen, mouse, disk drive, the microprocessor. That's just like the kitchen. And the waiter is just like the operating system. And examples of operating systems that you know are Microsoft Windows, XP, Windows Vista, and Windows 7. These are Microsoft operating systems. There's not so many. And then there's Apple Mac OS as an example. And then customers at the tables, well, these are like programs, and there's zillions of programs. But common ones are like Outlook, Live Mail. These are used for reading email. Then we have programs like Internet Explorer for browsing the web. We have programs like Word for writing documents and PowerPoint for making presentations, like I'm using right now. So, in any case, this is this analogy. So, programs make requests to the operating system or the waiter to use parts of the hardware, its resources, its screen, to use the keyboard or to have the keyboard attached to that program, to have the mouse to get information from the mouse, to use the disk drive. So once again, customers are at tables, make requests to the waiter to get stuff from the kitchen. Is it completely analogous to programs making requests of the operating system to get things from the hardware? So those are the three main parts of the computer. Going on then, most of our time at computers is spent using programs. And we need to look at that analogy just a little bit closer. So let's take a look at that a little bit better. So I shrunk, as you can see down below. You still have the waiter in the kitchen, and that's shrunk down now. And then up above we have, I'm going to look at these tables a little bit more closely. And one's called Elizabeth's table, and you see one's called Anne's table. Now, it turns out that computers, because they were originally designed to serve many people at once, were called multi-user. And you still see this when you log onto a Windows screen. It says, which user do you want to log in as? And that's because multiple users can be running their own programs, which is totally analogous to like Elizabeth's table. Running on Elizabeth's table, there's various programs running. Let's say those are the plates. And then on Anne's table, she has various programs running, and those are her plates. And since a lot of computing stuff was invented in America, and we tend to like to eat a lot, we tend to like to have a lot of things going on at once. For example, in Elizabeth's table, and you see those circles over on the right hand side, we might be running Live Mail. That's like a plate that's running. Internet Explorer, Elizabeth might be browsing the web, or she might have another window open called Explorer, and we'll talk about all these more programs in detail, or the basics of them, and just the basics of them we'll be talking about. Likewise, on Anne's table, her email program that she may be running is Outlook, and she may be running the Firefox browser to explore the internet, and she may also have a regular Explorer window open. So we can see now, this is really the analogy of what's going on with computers. Elizabeth might be focused on her Live Mail meal. This is America, we like to eat a lot, so she's got multiple meals on her table. She's eating Live Mail, she's eating Internet Explorer, and she's going to eat the Explorer, and she's switching between these meals as she wants to, and these meals are all making requests of the operating system to get things like to retrieve the mail, to change the size of their window on the screen, or to save a file or open a file. They're all making requests of the operating system, which is the interface to the hardware, to provide those things. Now, let me just ask you a couple questions. When you use a computer, where do you spend all your time? Isn't it running the programs? Either you're in your email, you're browsing the web, etc. Do you really care much about the operating system? I don't. To me, all these different versions of operating systems are like people changing clothing styles. And of course, Microsoft makes money by us doing this, but it doesn't really matter for the majority of users. They don't really care whether they're running XP, Vista, or 7, and you shouldn't care either. And when you sit down at a computer and you hear it's Vista or 7 or XP, who cares? All you want to do is figure out how to start a program, and once you're running that program, you're fine. And they're starting the programs in the different operating systems are almost the same. Also, you know the hardware. You can sit down at one laptop model or another laptop model or a desktop model. Who cares? You know, you have a keyboard, you have a mouse, you have a screen. This is all very simple, and that's the same way you should look at an operating system. It doesn't really matter much. What you really care about is running the programs, because the programs let you do what you want to do. They let you read your mail, browse the web, write your documents. This is what really matters to you, not the other stuff, and that's how the other stuff should be viewed.